Hey YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have part 3 of our top 100 recruits for the 2025 class. And with that, let's get right into it. First up, at number 60, we have Hayden Lowe. He's also the number 5 edge. He is committed to Miami. Another prospect I've been very high on, and sometimes I wonder if I should have been any higher on him. He's built like a college-ready edge rusher already at 6'4", 250 pounds. He doesn't move nor look like it, which is the scary part. He could add more good weight, and I expect him to do so. Dynamic speed to power moves and is excellent at the point of attack. People in the California area have spoken about Lowe as a potential day 1 draft pick in 3 to 4 years. I'm right there with them. Just needs to fine tune his pass rush and reach that full potential. One more thing on Lowe, I did watch him in the All-American Bowl, and going back and looking at him, I have no doubts about anything that I had based on his senior season. He lived up to the hype, and to me, he looks really good right now and ready to play for Miami potentially next year. Next up at number 59, we have Douglas Utu, the number 3 interior offensive lineman. He is committed to Oregon. Utu has a ton of position versatility. He can play anywhere on the offensive line. Many schools project him as a guard, but he's done well in the past at tackle. He stands at 6'4", 320 pounds, so it'll be interesting to see how much bigger he gets. One of the more physical players in the class. That and his versatility are why I have him so high. There's more boom than bust here, especially at guard. Blocks through the whistle and is devastating in the run game. Not sure how early he'll play at Oregon, but we'll have to wait and see. Number 58, we have Tay Harris, who's also the number 6 safety committed to Georgia Tech. Someone we saw shine at the All-American game practices and in the game. It was good verification for his size. He came in at 6 foot 195 pounds. Plays a physical brand of football from the back end. He loves to come up and make plays near the line of scrimmage. You can tell he plays with great anticipation and coverage as well. Sometimes that comes back to bite when he gets beat. In high school, that hasn't hurt him much due to his recovery speed, which is very fast. Down the road, as he plays faster players, that could hurt him. There's a lot of tools in his toolbox, from speed, height, vertical, and overall agility. Sky's the limit for Harris. At number 57, we have Chuck McDonald. He's the number 7 corner committed to Alabama. Another big-time defensive back prospect coming out of modern day. Overall, looks like a very fluid athlete. Excellent straight line speed. He stands at 6'1", 195 pounds. Saw him have a big-time interception early in the season, playing zone coverage and jumped a flat route in 3 quick steps. Lots of press coverage playing at modern day. There were times he got beat deep due to his lack of physicality at the line. It's there, we've seen it before. Just need to play with that urgency and physicality all the time. If he does, look out. Now, another guy we saw at the All-American Bowl, and McDonald was probably in my top 5 for most impressive players. Not only in the one-on-one drills that we saw, but also in the game, total lockdown, and if anything, his stock has risen over the last week or so. Number 56, we have Ackland Dare. He's the number 2 running back, and he is committed to Alabama. Very solid, compact build for a running back of his age. Stands at 6'1", 205 currently. He's a one-cut and go type of runner, elite contact balance, patient in the backfield, reads his blocks, and it accelerates at a very high level. There's not much more he needs to do in terms of size to get ready for Bama. Obviously, just add muscle. He doesn't have the highest top-end speed, but is a handful to bring down in open space. If you're a Bama fan, expect Dare to fight for reps pretty early in the season. Number 55, we have Justin Hill, who's the number 4 edge. He is committed to Alabama. An elite edge rusher out of the state of Ohio. Really good balance of speed and power. Plays with his hair on fire. He doesn't jump off the screen with athleticism, but very high effort and a very high motor. Has the ability to win in the run game and not only be a third down type of guy, which is very important for an edge guy. He's not a guy I think will make an immediate impact at Alabama, but once he gets used to the college game, I do think he'll make a contribution. Number 54, we have Derek Meadows, number 9 wide receiver. He is committed to Alabama. A big-time physical talent at the position, an astounding 6'5", 205 pounds already, with a lot of tools to be great. I say tools to be great because there's a ways to go here. Currently, I view him as an outside 50-50 ball nightmare to defenses. At this stage and early in his college career, he can be a threat near the end zone as well. With that, he needs to fine-tune his route running and get a lot smoother on the perimeter. I'm a big fan of Meadows, and I think he can play at 215 to 225 as a receiver. He has good speed already, and adding muscle will be a priority number 1 for him. I have Meadows at number 54, but 2 years from now, we could come back saying he should have been top 20. We'll have to see if he can develop and put it all together. Obviously a big fan of him. Number 53, we have Carter Lowe, the number 8 offensive tackle committed to Ohio State. Now, big-time offensive tackle prospect out of Ohio. More of a compact, strong build at 6'5", 320 pounds. He carries that weight well though, and that's a credit to him. Very physical lineman, doesn't get moved off his spot very often. We've seen him pull at a high level and play well in space. He's up there for one of the better anchors in the class as well. Handles both speed and power rushers at a very high level. I'd say Lowe is very mature for this stage of his career. The only difference between him and the other top tackles is the top end potential in my opinion. Other than that, there's a lot to like here. At number 52, we have Jakeem Stewart, the number 60 lineman committed to USC. Big time former top 3 player before he reclassified. Only played 1 year of high school ball, so it's very hard to grade and project the player Stewart can become. I'll say this, he has the frame and size to become an absolute monster on the field. In the camps we saw him, there were moments like, yeah, he's the best player here. Rust may be an issue, but it also may not, right? We'll have to wait and see. It might take a year to put it all together and get back to the form that we saw him in that one season he played. But the potential is there, no doubt. High round NFL draft pick if it all comes together. At number 51, we have FAHEEM DELANE, number 5 safety committed to physical, big time defensive back from Maryland. Thrives in a strong safety or slot corner role. Very sure tackler that makes big time hits and fills run gaps at a very high level. Very little hesitation out of DELANE. Diagnoses plays quickly and plays very fast. He could be someone to cover slot wide receivers and tight ends down the road. He's 6'3", 200 pounds currently with room to grow. There's a lot of potential here in the secondary, and DELANE's also an early enrollee, so who knows, he could see the field just next season as a freshman. At number 50, we have Zion Grady, number 3 edge committed to Ohio State. A bruiser on the defensive line. Grady has had an up and down career in high school, but it seems like he's peaking at the right time. He already stands at 6'4", 240 pounds. Has the frame to become an absolute beast of an edge rusher. I project him to make a huge leap over his freshman year of college because he already has good mechanics. Speed to power is the name of the game here, and he does that at a high level. With Grady, there's a lot to like. Another boom more than bust player. At number 49, we have Andrew Olesh, number 3 tight end committed to Penn State. One of the more heavily offered tight ends in the 2025 class. Standing at 6'5", 220 pounds, Olesh is another tight end who's currently a jumbo receiver. He's a great route runner and can stretch the field both vertically and horizontally. Unlike some of the other tight ends in the class, I view Olesh as someone who will stay off the line, moves well in space, and has excellent body control. He's a mismatch nightmare for linebackers currently, and Penn State is on a run for having great tight ends, and I expect Olesh to be one of the next ones down the road. Number 48, we have Dorian Brew, the number 6 corner committed to Oregon. Physical defensive back with position versatility, good size at 6 foot 200 pounds. Has played primarily outside at field corner and thrived the last 2 seasons in that spot. He plays fast and physical, really good tackler that plays very good in space. An early enrollee that will be ready to play early at the next level due to his size. He doesn't have the best ball skills yet. Most of his interceptions came from zone coverage, with his eyes just staring at the quarterback. But credit to Brew, he has good instincts in coverage and can cover ground with ease. Expect him to get a look at nickel or safety as well once he gets to Oregon. And I'm just going to double down on that take. After watching him in the All-American game, you can kind of see why he's projected more to play nickel or even get a look at safety. He just doesn't look comfortable playing outside corner, and that's no discredit to him. I think it's just more natural for him to go inside. Number 47, we have Hilton Stubbs, number 4 safety committed to Florida. Heavily offered prospect out of Jacksonville, Florida. A long-time highly rated prospect that continues to build a good resume at the high school level. He stands at 6'1", 195 pounds, and an elite length for a defensive back. He's more of a downhill safety rather than sitting back in coverage. Comes down to fill the run game consistently and is a very good tackler. Not sure if he'll stay at safety. He does have some attributes to move to the slot or even outside corner. That'll give him a lot of blitz potential and allow him to play near the line. Number 46, we have Riley Pettyjohn, number 3 linebacker committed to Ohio State. Big time linebacker out of Texas. Very good athlete that can cover down the field. Showcases his instincts in coverage. Very sure tackler that makes his presence felt at the point of attack. Has the right build and athleticism to fill out for the next level. He stands at 6'2", 220 pounds currently, with more room to grow. He needs to get more determined in his movements. Sometimes is very hesitant when in pursuit. That's certainly coachable. Number 45, we have TAYLYN Taylor, number 8 wide receiver, and he is headed to Georgia. First thing I'll say about Taylor is go watch his 7-on-7 tape. He shined over the summer at camps and 7-on-7 tournaments all across the country. He showcased how balanced of a wide receiver prospect he is. Elite pass catcher that high points nearly every catch. He may have solidified himself as a potential starter at Georgia next year with the great senior season he just had. Despite being only 6'2", 170 pounds right now, he's an early enrollee that just makes plays. He brings juice to the position and is a very fluid route runner. That shows up the most with in-breaking and out-breaking routes. Dog fans, you should be very excited, because once he adds muscle and weight, the sky's the limit here. And Taylor's another guy we saw at the All-American Bowl. And once again, I was very, very excited for what I saw, especially for those Georgia fans out there that have been waiting and waiting for receivers. And you already got Branch coming in and Noah Thomas. Now you add Taylor. And in the one-on-one drills, we saw Taylor's full potential. And yeah, there's a lot to be excited about. Number 44, we have JARON-KEAWE SAGAPOLUTELE. He is the number 7 quarterback, and he is playing for Cal. A big riser in the rankings across multiple recruiting services, including a 5-star rating via AUTRY. His performance at Elite 11 over the summer caught the eyes of many, including myself. That then led to me watching a lot of his senior season, where he looked even better. Ideal size already at 6'3", 220 pounds. If you think of elite left-handed quarterbacks coming from Hawaii and Tua and Dylan Gabriel, Jaron fits right in. He just happens to be 6'3". Arguably has the best deep ball in the class and excels at throwing downfield from the pocket. We've seen him make all the throws, whether it's lateral across the field or layering an intermediate ball. Now, 2 reasons why I don't have Jaron in my top 32 is because of competition and the lack of mobility. He can sometimes turn into a statue in the pocket and could also improve at extending plays with his legs. We have a lot of eyes on him if he decides to indeed play in the Polynesian Bowl. Number 43, we have Jose Epinesa, number 5 D lineman, and he is coming into Iowa. Brother of AJ, and he's a very similar player to him. More of an athlete at this point in time rather than just a pure defensive lineman. He has a ton of position versatility, plays with some serious juice, and you can see that instantly on tape. Relentless effort leads to a ton of tackles for loss. Expect him to make an immediate impact at Iowa. It would be critical for him to either find a spot at edge or hand down defensive linemen right away. It's certainly possible. He does both at a high level. Elite athleticism for his size, unlimited possibilities for him. Number 42, we have Madden Faramo, the number 2 linebacker committed to Notre Dame. Elite speed and athleticism for the position. The former safety is a do-it-all linebacker that thrives in coverage. Really instinctive player that diagnoses plays very quickly. He's also spent a lot of time up near the line of scrimmage, also as like an edge player. I expect him to play more off-ball, obviously, due to his size, but he got to showcase his pass rush skills as a senior. Overall, there's a lot to like with Faramo, and the way Notre Dame plays defense, he'll fit in perfectly. Coming at number 41, we have Malik AUTRY, who's also the number 4 D lineman, who's going to Auburn. He's a monster of a defensive lineman, 6'5", 325 pounds, and can play anywhere across the line. He has a very long wingspan that shows up when you watch him. Not much finesse to his game, but he doesn't really need to. He's the ultimate power rusher and is elite in disrupting plays. AUTRY stands out to me because he moves well for his size. A lot of the time we see guys his size who struggle to move laterally and make plays consistently in the backfield. That's not the case here with AUTRY. Constant disruptor that'll make plays at the next level almost immediately. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel before you head out. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. It would be greatly appreciated if you guys do subscribe. And be sure to check out the other 2 videos, part 1 and 2 of the series, when we go through players 100 through 61. And with that, I'll see you all in the next video.